right on in. So first up, let's start with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let's start with them. So I got my notes over here, and let's dive in, or I'll just go down the line and talk about each woman and then see what comes up when we do that. Okay, let's do it that way. So with Garcelle, I'm loving Garcelle this season. I love that she's showing more of her vulnerability of like who she is as a woman. I love that she is staying on everybody's neck. Like she's on Dorit's neck. She's on Kyle's neck. She's not really letting up for any of the women. Like, for example, when they went to Chuck E. Cheese, right? And she goes to Kyle, can I be blunt? I just want to say what I want to say. Like, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. And then in the moment, Kyle's all like, haha, that's so funny. But then on the after show, Kyle has an attitude and calls Garcelle an a-hole. Like, Kyle, boo-boo, you're living in Delulu land. That's not what it is. First of all, Kyle, how are you shocked when Garcelle says, if you want to be a lesbian, when for the last 3 to 4 years, you've been gaslighting us with are they or aren't they with Morgan Wade? You did a very sexual lesbian music video with her. You're morphing into her. You got matching tattoos, working out all day together. You're calling the paparazzi on yourself. Like the paparazzi don't know that you're down at the Coffee Bean on La Cienega unless you tell the paparazzi you're down at the Coffee Bean on La Cienega. So you're calling the paparazzi on yourself. You're getting all these photo shoots. But the reason why Kyle has to be combative against Garcelle and also like, oh, this season we can't say Morgan's name. We just have to be respectful, blah, 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 blah. The reason why Kyle has to be that way is because she can't be honest and be like, yeah, the whole Morgan thing, that was a big fake PR stunt. That was nothing but a fake relationship. I was going through it. I reached out to her. Her team was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's get some click views and some tour guides going on. And it ran its course. Because at the end of last season, if you remember, the moment the reunion was over, Morgan was deleting Kyle's photos from her Instagram. Kyle was on Jeff Lewis being like, I don't really know her like that. But then everybody got wind of it. And then all of a sudden they were seeing like paparazzi photos together. And now you only see them in those paparazzi shots after something big happens, right? So it's bonkers to me. It's absolutely crazy. It's weird. Hey, Lauren. Lauren says, I don't understand why Garcelle told Kyle she can be a lesbian. Was she trying to get Kyle to openly admit she is gay? Okay, good question. Now, for me, I don't think that Garcelle was trying to get Kyle to openly admit that she's a lesbian. I think Garcelle was saying, look, if you are, and she even explains this more in her confessional and on the after show. I think what she was saying was, hey, look, if you are experimenting with women or whatever the case may be, if you're unsure, are you straight? Are you gay? Are you bisexual? Whatever it is, it's okay. And this is a safe space to be honest about it. If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. I don't think she was saying you need to come out and say what you are. I think she was trying to say, whatever you're going through, it's okay to talk about this. It's okay to be honest about what's going on. Also, if you remember Garcelle herself, not this season, but last season, when sexuality came up, Garcelle said, she's like, I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm single. I've thought about a woman. What would that look like? What would that be? I'm kind of open to it. I don't know. So she herself has been very honest about her own sexuality and her own questioning and what she's open to or not. I just think that Kyle is hypersensitive to everything, where it makes her the ultimate hypocrite. Like, you are literally doing sexual music videos. You're calling the paparazzi. Last season, you had Morgan on the show, multiple episodes where you guys were flirting and Morgan was like, she stalked me, midnight, all this stuff. And now all of a sudden, if anybody questions Kyle about it, they're an a-hole. All of a sudden, if anybody questions Kyle about it, they're coming after her. All of a sudden, this season, you can't even say Morgan's name. Like, who is she? Like I'm confused on that. You know what I mean? So for me, I think Kyle is really whack. If you don't want people to speculate on your sexuality, stop calling the paparazzi on yourself when you're doing things that look questionable, Hey, Adam, what's up? He says, hi, everyone. Hey, sweetheart. Adam says, LCL, that was one of the funniest scenes of the season. Oh, was that LOL? LOL, that was one of the funniest scenes of the season. Yo, listen, they are staying on Kyle's neck and they are not letting up. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so let's also talk about staying on Kyle's neck. Well, I'll get some more comments and then I'll go back to Kyle. Hi, Riri Cook says, I'm putting Beverly Hills on pause until Dorito is gone. Listen, we are going to get into it because I am not here for Dorit. I'm confused why everyone's like, oh my God, Dorit is amazing. She's saying the see you next Tuesday word. She's smoking. She's so cool. No, she's whack as hell to me. I'm with you 100%. Hey, Reality Diamond. Hey, Freddie. How are you, sweetheart? What's up? Okay, so now let's go back to everybody staying on Kyle's neck. So we talked about Garcelle calling her out for being a lesbian. Now let's talk about Sutton calling her out for the alleged Mauricio infidelity of it all. I gagged. So all the girls, they're, getting brunch together after the whole Viper room situation where Dorit, really got into herself and thought she was about to do something. Like, girl, pipe down. And they're talking about breakups and, the PK and the messaging. And I'll get into what I think about the whole PK and the texting and whether I'm on Dorit's side or Kyle's side. You won't be surprised. I'm actually on Kyle's side when it comes to that. And I'll tell you why. But let's get back to that. Again, Kyle being all in her feelings, how dare Sutton talk about infidelity? I can't trust her. She lost my trust, blah, 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 blah. Of course, Kyle didn't say anything in the actual moment because she is a confessional and after show warrior. She doesn't actually say she's bothered in the moment. She kind of laughs it off and then wants to talk about it. But girl, are you kidding me? Literally since season 1, which was 14 years ago, literally since over a decade and a half, there have been rumors about Mauricio cheating on you with women, with trans, with whatever. And I only bring that up because that's just what it was, over here with the candy canes, gay, straight, trans, purple, polka dot, we don't care. Everybody gets the same treatment because in my eyes, we're all equal. Anyway, so I don't know why she's acting so shocked and dazed and confused by this. I can't believe I can't trust you. Now, this is the thing. And also don't forget, this was a big reason why Kyle and LVP had a falling out. Remember, this was what season Brandy first came in? Remember when Brandy came in and it was Brandy, Ken Todd, LVP, Mauricio, and Kyle, and they all went on some vacation. And it was Brandy said that LVP told her to bring the tabloids. I think it was Star Magazine or something like that. I don't remember Star Magazine, but when I did the deep dive, it came up. It was Star Magazine or something like that, where it was saying what he was doing. And Brandy was oh, Lisa told me to bring the tabloid. And Lisa was no, I didn't. And they had that big fight. And then remember when Lisa was using her British humor and it was Portia, and Portia was a goober. She was super toddler style. It was Portia and Mauricio and Kyle in Kyle's kitchen. And Lisa's oh, this is the young woman everyone says you're running around town with. And Kyle lost her GD mind. She's why would you say that? How dare you in front of my child? And Lisa was I don't think Portia reads Star Magazine or gets that's what I'm talking about. Clearly it's ridiculous. And that's why I'm saying that. So for Kyle to act like this is the first time there's been questioning around her infidelity, it's crazy. I think what Kyle is actually shocked at is that she no longer has the pull and the power as this sort of pseudo producer that she's always had. And now these questions are coming up. Now people are feeling emboldened, well, if you're a lesbian, say you're a lesbian. Was there infidelity in your marriage? Has at how it's been portrayed? Ever since she kind of went crazy on Lisa Vanderpump, she went crazy on Brandy. She kind of got what's the witchy poo name? Carlton wasn't talking about her marriage, but she got Carlton fired, Camille fired. People haven't really gone for Kyle in a very serious way. And I think she's shocked that we're now coming for her because she no longer has that power, if that makes sense. Okay. So there is that. So to me, I'm kind of Kyle, again, it's hard to be sympathetic towards you in these moments when you're being a hypocrite. You used to tell everybody, we have to tell the truth. We have to tell the truth. Tell the truth. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. She's in everybody else's business. Yolanda Munchausen, LVP, Puppygate. Just tell the truth. Did you do it? Blah, blah, blah. So you want everybody else to be honest and truthful about what's going on in their life, but somehow you think your life is precious and off limits. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really have it both ways. So for me, when it comes to Garcelle versus Kyle, I'm team Garcelle, ask the question. When it comes to Sutton versus Kyle, I'm team Kyle, ask the question. But when it comes to Kyle versus Dorit, I will stand 10 toes down forever, pretty much, unless something catastrophic happens. I'm team Kyle on this. I've said this since day one of this season. And it's like I said, I think that the cast will be team Kyle. And I think that the collective audience will be team Dorit. I don't know how long that will last. I think people are getting Dorit fatigue. Her stunts are kind of corny and over now. Like, I don't think, how many times can we see her cussing out Kyle before we're just over it? I'm personally over it. I was over it after the first episode. How many episodes are we deep? And it's the same rinse, wash, and repeat. And that's why Kyle, I actually agreed with Kyle when she was like, the whole PK test messaging situation. She was like, look, Dorit and I, we were getting back okay. Like, we weren't back to like where we were, but we were getting back okay. And now all of a sudden she wants to pull the fact that I'm texting PK out of the blue for a reason to go after me, right? And I agree with that. I think Dorit, and I've stood by this and I stand by this, I don't think Dorit ever liked Kyle. Ever. I think their entire friendship was transactional. Kyle, it needs yes people around her. She doesn't like being confronted. She does not like being held accountable. She does not like being told no or any type of critical feedback. That's just whatever the case may be. Maybe she needs some therapy to work on those issues. It is what it is. Dorit, I don't think ever really liked her. And I think Dorit just wanted cover. She wanted to be Kyle's yes person so she could kind of skate by, get those Bravo checks, get her 15 minutes of fame without actually getting her hands dirty. She was a part of the Faux Fox 5 just like everybody else. She was part of the LVP takedown just like everybody else. She went after just like everybody, the whole Yolanda and Puppygate. Like, she was Puppygate. It was her puppy. It was literally Dorit's puppy. That was Puppygate. But somehow people only remember Kyle versus LVP when Erika was a part of that. Teddy was a part of that. Lisa Rinna was a part of that. And Dorit was a part of that. They literally formed a clique to take down LVP. And that's how you know you're that chick. When they can't take you down by themselves, they have to gang up on you. They have to gang stalk you to take you down when you're literally at your weakest, because her brother had passed away and then her mother passed away. They had to gang up on her at her literal lowest in order to get her. That's how you know you're that chick. So Queen LVP, we love you. So there's that. So this righteousness that Dorit has, Now, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Freddie. Adam says, the problem is that Kyle has this my life is perfect agenda, but Sutton put that to bed, spelling it out about Mo. 100%. And even last season, when Sutton was like, when everyone was like, where's Kyle? And Sutton was like in denial. And it was like, ha, 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 ha. And then Garcelle and Sutton were going after Kyle, being like, well, let's talk about your marriage. Why are you wearing your ring? Like, what's going on with the weight loss, not drinking? Like, they just were staying on her neck and keeping her accountable for so long, and I think that because again, the producers and the executives aren't really they're just executing, they're not producing, but the boots on the ground producers, because producers are different from executives, they can be one and the same, but they have different functions. So the producers on the ground, the boots on the ground, they're finally catching up to us audience that we're onto it, that we get Kyle has been protected, that she has gotten this sort of favorable edit, and she has been allowed to put on this pretense that her life is so happy and so perfect when it's really not. And now she's really going to have to come up and start showing her real life. We got the same stuff with Dorit. I don't think Dorit was ever protected by production. I think Dorit was protected by Kyle. And that's what I mean by cover. Kyle was the golden child. She was protected by production. She was like a de facto producer herself. And because she was a yes person to Kyle, she got that cover. And she was kind of able to just be very plain Jane, vanilla, mediocre at best type chick for the last, not her first season, her first season she came in swinging, but after that she kind of went dormant. So she kind of got by just being mediocre, because there were people who were way better than her and there were people who were way worse. So she just got skating by being mediocre and covered by Kyle. She should thank Teddy for being horrible. She should thank Anna Marie for being horrible. She should thank Crystal for fumbling the diamond. She should thank Diana Jenkins for fumbling the diamond. She should thank Lisa Rinna for fumbling the diamond, because all of those people had to go before they got to Dorit, who's kind of just there. Do you know what I mean? But this season, I think that every housewife was put on notice. Like, you need to be honest. Is PK living in a hotel? Are you guys separated? Was your home invasion a fraud and a scam, like everyone is saying? So let's talk about that, okay? Well, I'll take some more questions and then I'll talk about Ding Dong Dorito, Erika Jayne for a minute, Sutton, boring Boz, girl bye, and Jennifer and Kathy for a little bit. But I don't think Jennifer and Kathy were too much in last episode. Okay, so Reality Dime says Kyle wouldn't be getting called out if it weren't for Sutton and Garcelle. Exactly. Erika Jayne even said it in the after show. She was like, yeah, Garcelle asked the questions that I want to ask. But Erika, very similar to Dorit, yet the vibe is different, because I actually do think Erika likes Kyle. I do. I think Kyle and Erika genuinely like each other. But I also think that Erika uses Kyle and has used Kyle for cover. I think that Erika likes Kyle more than Dorit does. I think that Erika, Dorit, and Lisa Rinna were the core three, and they used Teddy and Kyle for their agenda. And then Teddy got fired, and then they continued to use Kyle. But I think the true friend, quote friend, if that's what you want to call it, was always Dorit, Erika, and Rinna. And I think they got together and they talked mad crap about Kyle. I think they talked about Kyle like a dog. I think they thought that Kyle was dumb, stupid, overrated, whatever you want to say it, and I think that once they were not able to take down Kathy and they weren't able to take down Kyle, at least Serena gets fired, Dorit's put on notice to shut up or put up. I think that's when they're like, oh, Kyle's way more like Dorit. Kyle's way more manipulative than I thought. No, it's not that Kyle's more manipulative than you thought. Kyle's always been Kyle. We know who Kyle is. Like, vile Kyle, goodbye Kyle. Kyle is Kyle. What you're saying now is that you no longer have to wear a mask and pretend like you actually like her. And Erika Jayne pretty much is saying the same thing. She's like, this has been a long time coming. This has been going on for a long time between these two. I know. Like, girl. Hey, Tay. Hey, sweetheart. Says, hi, Candy. Hi, sweetheart. Riri Cook says it was season 4. Thank you. Hey, Pink Sass says at Reality Diamond, I agree. Adam says, you would have thought Kyle, being a so-called actress, she would understand British humor. So ironic. Hello. But again, that's with Kyle. Kyle thinks she can say and do anything to anyone, put people on blast. People have to own it and talk about it, be real, be truthful, be honest. But the moment you question anything about her life, her facade, she wants to, crumble and then blame and call people a-hoes and say you can't trust people. And okay, and the thing about Sutton too, and then I'll get into Dorit, the Kyle and Sutton thing, when she in the after show, when Kyle was like, I can't trust Sutton, the infidelity comment. Again, this is why I'm on Team Sutton with that. If Kyle had confided something truly personal, confidential about what was going on with her and Mo to Sutton personally, like off camera, like woman, like girl to girl, woman to woman, and it was like, hey, like, I know we're co-stars on a reality show, but like, you're my friend and this is what I'm going through. Please don't bring it to the show. I just need your support. And then Sutton came to the show and said that, then yeah, I would be on Kyle's side. And I'd like, I can't trust you. You broke my trust. I thought I could, because this is a thing. Even though they are reality stars on reality TV, allegedly talking about their lives, they're still human beings. And they're still allowed to have privacy. They're still allowed to have boundaries. They're still allowed to have secrets. They're still allowed to have genuine private friendships, even if they are co-stars, co-workers, colleagues. They're still allowed to have that. They don't owe us every part of them. They owe us transparency and authenticity, but you can still be private and have boundaries and be authentic and transparent. So that's why I'm kind of like, Kyle, again, you're just being a brat about this. You think that for some reason you should be untouchable. But it was very clear that Sutton was just in the moment with the chat being like, well, you know about infidelity with Mo. And then Kyle's like, what? So it wasn't like Sutton was spilling some big secret about Mo cheating on Kyle that Kyle had confided in her as an actual friend. Sutton was just like, you and me, like, well, you know, the streets have been talking, like, haven't you gone through it with Mo? Because everybody kind of knows. And that's exactly what Garcelle said in her confessional. She's like, yeah, you know, that's kind of like the unspoken thing. There's been rumors about Mo for years with infidelity, but like nobody actually says it. And Sutton said the quiet part out loud. So for Kyle to say that Sutton isn't trustworthy because of that is whack as hell. Like, girl, stop. But where I do take Kyle's side when it comes to like girl code or whatever is the texting and Dorit and the PK situation. And I will tell you why. I don't care what anybody says, and I will die on this hill 10 toes down forever. If there was a situation that was similar to the Mo and the Ding Dong Dorit situation where everyone was like, are they having an affair? Dorit seems to be sexually attracted to him. Is there something inappropriate going on? You know what I mean? It was like the smelling, like when she smelled him, it wasn't even that she hugged him. It wasn't that she kissed him. But when she smelled him, I was like, okay, they either have smashed or she wants to smash, because the smelling of him is so intimate. And the way she smelled him it was so, that is a level of intimacy that actually goes deeper than like actual sex. Like, you could bang somebody and you're like, okay, whatever, that was fun. But when you like touch or caress or smell or something like that, that's actual intimacy. And when I saw her do that, I was like, skeet, skeet, like, what, ding dong Dorit? Now, do I think anything has physically happened between Ding Dong Dorit and Mo? I don't. Only because I don't think Mo would. Do I think Mo has cheated on Kyle? Yes, that's my opinion. I'm not saying it's a fact. Do I think Mo has cheated on Kyle with Dorit? No. Do I think Dorit would risk it all for Mo? 100%. I think if Mo was willing to, Dorit would have, but I don't think that Mo even thought of it. I think he was like, I'm going to go smoke a doobie and like, just do me. I'm going to go hit up some 20-year-old from the agency and call it a day. That was Mo. I don't think Mo was checking for Dorit like that. That's just what I think. Could be wrong. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I think once that happened, and then on top of that, for Dorit to then come after Kyle with such vitriol, girl code is out the freaking window. I don't owe you jack diddly when the entire world, and clearly Kyle included, because you could tell she was affected, which she should be, and I would have been if I was her, is speculating if whether or not my best friend and coworker, co-star, colleague, BFF is having sex with my husband or wants to have sex with my husband. Girl code is out the window. You're damn right I'm texting PK. You're damn right. Where was Dorit January 12th, 2024, 3 o'clock p.m.? Because I don't know where Mauricio was. PK, where was she? PK, oh, she was here. Where was Mauricio? You're damn right they're comparing notes. Of course they're texting. Of course they're in communication. Are you crazy? That would be my first call after my husband, would be to her husband to be like, has she confessed? What do you know? What has happened? Of course they're going to be in contact, and Dorit cannot claim girl code, you're texting PK. I don't think anybody with half of a brain cell And that's why I agreed with Kyle on this when she was like, Dorit knows nothing sexual is or sexually inappropriate is going on with PK. Nobody with half a brain cell thinks Kyle and PK are doing anything sexual. Come on. Like, nobody in their right mind legitimately believes that, okay? I would believe Kyle and Morgan, and I don't even believe Kyle and Morgan, to be honest with you. I think that's just a stunt. Before I believe Kyle and PK. I think they really are friends. They were, couple friends. They became friends. And the whole world was speculating if their spouses were having sex. Of course they're going to, talk. That's crazy. I think Dorit just needed another reason why to go after Kyle. Dorit just needed another moment. She just needed something else. So that's kind of where I land on that. Erika Jayne, and then I'll take some more questions and comments from you guys. So Erika Jayne, to me, Tom Girardi stuff aside, I'm going to just put that in a little bucket over here because I'm tired of talking about that crap, okay? So that's like in a bucket over there. Erika Jayne, to me, is boring. I like her, but at the same time, she just seems very sad and wounded, and she's trying to like take care of her inner child, and she wants this pizza party so bad. Like, I'm over the Erika Jayne redemption storyline. Didn't we have that the last 2 seasons? Isn't that why we got Pat the Puss Las Vegas 2.0? Like, I thought we've been there, done that. She's still on the show. She's not in jail yet, even though she still has lawsuits. Like, we've done the redemption arc. Like, that storyline to me is beat. I don't want any more therapy sessions. I don't want to talk about no more pizza parties. I don't want her talking about, I lost everything and now I'm coming back with a vengeance. And blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, shut up. Stop. Also, when she was like, oh, Tom's ex-wife came with a whole like Mayflower truck and took all of the stuff out. And I just took like 4 cups and 4 plates. And because if I would have done all that, it would have been a thing. No, you weirdo, lying, fraud, wackadoo. Stop it. Nobody is stupid, Erika. The reason why you didn't do what his first wife did, which was pull up and take everything because she probably knew he was a crook. She probably knew he was cheating on her. She probably knew that at one point it was going to come down on him because nobody can reign forever. The reason why you didn't do that, Erika, you dingbat, is because you thought it was temporary. You thought he was too big to fail. You thought you could fly close to the sun without getting burned. You thought you and Tom were going to pretend to separate because they're not even legally divorced. Why aren't they legally divorced? Because the separation was fake and just for the lawsuits. Duh, they're still legally married. They're still married, not divorced. So come on. And I'm pretty sure you can get a quick, what's the word? Like an escalated divorce timeline when your partner's incarcerated. And I'm pretty sure he got found guilty on all counts. So there's that. Anyway, dingbat. The reason why you didn't do that, Erika, is because you thought you guys were going to get away with it. You thought that he was either going to go to like a home for like dementia people, which I think I don't know if he's in jail or if he's in like elder jail. I don't know. Anyway, he was found guilty. But I think that she thought that she was just going to, I don't give a damn about anybody and what victims, blah, 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 blah. And it was going to blow over and she was going to move back in. That somehow, because that's why she was going so hard for those earrings. Suing and countersuing and appealing because she didn't want the precedent that the things he bought her with the blood money would legally, then she would have to legally return them. She did not want the precedent. And the earrings set that precedent. Sorry, sweetheart, he bought your stuff with blood money. You have to return it, gift or no gift. It's not yours. So that's why she was fighting so hard. And that's why she kept saying it's for legal reasons. You're an a-hole. Erika, you're an a-hole. You wanted to be able to hold on to all of the stuff that was bought with the victim's money. And you thought you were going to get away with it. That's why you didn't go up there with your Mayflower Mack truck, because you thought you were going to move back in. But you know what did happen? Didn't the mansion conveniently get broken into and all this stuff conveniently disappeared? And you said that Tom had a black eye because he was like fighting off the burglars. And then he got in his car and it was snowing in Pasadena. Girl, bye. All nothing but a scam. Also, Erika Jayne is flat for me because her redecorating her multi-million-dollar mansion that she's acting like is a studio apartment in, I don't know, Williamsburg or something. Like, she's acting like she's living in some like shelter for battered women. Like, this is where I am now, but it's not where I'll always be. Like, you're in a multi-million-dollar home in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood adjacent. Like, shut the actual F up. There are people in this world who are way more deserving than you, who don't know where their next meal is coming from, who don't have, clean water to drink. They don't have food for their children. And you want to get on this show and act like living in a multi-million-dollar home in West Hollywood / Beverly Hills is slumming it? Erika Jayne, shut the hell all the way up. Also, the reason why I'm bored and can't stand her anymore is she's acting like redecorating her house is a storyline. I'm sorry, redecorating your house is not a storyline. It is a segment for selling Sunset. It's not a storyline for your entire season episode arc of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I don't care. However, her interior designer, he is fabulous, highly sought after. He's great. But again, like, that should be on like a real estate or design show, and she should be like a guest on an episode. This should not be her entire arc. Girl, bye. Okay, Bozoma, and then I'm gonna get to more of you guys' questions. Okay, one sec, let me get more to your questions. I'll get to Boz. Hey, Freddie. He's Reality Diamond. It was so obvious Kyle invited Camille to that party at her house to annoy Dorit. 100%, and I'm here for it. The only thing I wasn't here for was like, Camille, if you're going to show up, clock the F in. Like, why did she, and I don't like Dorit, why did she let Dorit win that scene? Because Dorit did win it. Not because she said, see you next Tuesday. You're an effing see you next Tuesday, which is really gross and vulgar and disgusting. But she just won the scene because she read Camille better than Camille read her. And Camille, you had so many good fodder and ammunition. Like, Dorit's an easy target. So I'm here for it that Kyle came and like put it on Dorit's neck. I'm just mad that Camille didn't go as hard as I know Camille could go. Maybe she's having an off day. Adam says, at Reality Diamond, that was one of the very few moments of the season I respected Kyle. Exactly. Dorit always acts pathetic when Camille is in her presence. Yep. Hey, Nataski says hi. She goes, ding dong. Yep. Hey, Riri, Cook, Garcelle, and Sutton are the show. LVP, Kim, and Camille will forever be my favorite OGs of Beverly Hills. 100. Agree. Okay. Now let's talk about Boz, and then I'll do some more comments and questions. And put it in the chat box. Do you want you guys to come up and talk about Beverly Hills? Or after this, do you want me to go straight into Salt Lake City? Let me know. If anybody wants to come out, let me know. Okay. All right. So, Boz. Now, I get it. I myself, me, I'm also a little scared to talk against Boz. And I feel like maybe the other women are, only because of her connections in the entertainment industry. Like, you guys, like, one day maybe they'll just come knocking on the door. Candy, come in. Here's your golden ticket. Call me. Anyway, so maybe that's why I feel like the ladies are kind of more hesitant to really talk about how they really feel about Boz. But I feel like they feel the same way I do. She's boring. She's flat. I personally don't think she brings anything to the show. I'm super confused as to why Bozoma, who's this like super, acclaimed and accredited and super successful woman, and I'm not taking anything away from her and what she has done in her accolades. By no means would I ever do that. So I'm confused as to why she's so aligned with Dorit to the point where she's not friendly with Kyle. She's not friendly with Sutton. I think she's jealous of Garcelle. If you are a Black woman, you know. I'm just telling you what I see personally. And she's nice to Erika because Dorit's nice to Erika. So I'm just confused by this. Like, I don't get it. And she can't say that she's open to hearing everybody's side and she's open to get to know everybody because she's blatantly not. She's just up Dorit's butt. And when Dorit and Bozoma are together, I think Boz kind of chucks and jives and Dorit puts on her black scent. She has a lots of accents to choose from. So when she's with Boz, she puts on her black one. She's like, damn, girl, yeah, I know. Yes. And like it was telling because even Kyle and Erika alluded to it in the after show. They're like, yeah, Dorit gets very animated with Boz and it's a lot of yeses, a lot of girls, and it's true. And, so I'm a little confused at that one, like why she became so close to Dorit to the point of not being open to hang out with the other women. And even in the after show, Boz, you're giving Delulu, sweetheart, when she was like, oh, Garcelle and the other girls are jealous of her friendship with Dorit and they're hypocrites because Garcelle and Sutton are so close. Again, Bozoma, you don't use words correctly. Like you use the word weaponized with Sutton incorrectly, and you also are using hypocrite in this situation incorrectly because they're not hypocrites. The feedback that they're giving you, Bozoma, since you love to talk about that you work in marketing. So the feedback that they're giving you on your marketing strategy of yourself, since you're your best product, is that it's not working. It's that you have picked a side without knowing the history and without getting to know the other women. And you've just decided to be close to Dorit very quickly to the detriment of your friendships with the other women. That is the feedback. Garcelle and Sutton are friends, but not to the detriment of their friendships with the other women. They're not closed off to being close to Kyle or even to Ding Dong Dorit or to Erika or to Kathy or to Jennifer because of their friendship. So it's not hypocritical. It's actually apples to oranges. They are genuine friends and we saw their friendship evolve and it's cool, but they don't do it by icing out everybody else. Of course, it's housewives. Everybody has alliances. Everybody has their groups or whatever. That's par for the course. But Garcelle and Sutton aren't friends to the detriment of the friendships that they have with other people. In fact, they brought Erika into their friendship. In fact, Garcelle is making a concerted effort to get to know Kyle and become closer to her after everything. So it's actually the opposite, Boz. And my other feedback for her is, and this is actually my biggest pet peeve with her, besides the Dorit stuff, is she just looks like a sourpuss. I don't see her smile or laugh. She looks like she's irritated and confused, like she doesn't know why she's there or why they are there or what's going on. So to me, that's why I'm kind of like, Bozoma, like, you signed up for a reality show. Like, you do know that's why the cameras are here. Could you tell your face? She looks irritated all the time. So for me, Boz is a no. She's a no. But I think that she's so, even though she's up Dorit's butt and she's closed off to the other women, she's still very diplomatic. And she hasn't done anything so egregious like esophagus gate or, oh, you said something dark or something like that. She hasn't been so egregious where they can outwardly say it, but you can tell it's very PR. Every time you ask anybody from the cast, oh, Boz is really nice. She seems like a great addition to the show. What? When in the history of Housewives have they all had this very blanket boilerplate response? I think Boz, I don't think she's a good fit. I don't. And I think the other women are kind of scared to say anything. I do. I think they're kind of scared to say how they really feel about her. That's just what I think. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. And yeah. All right, I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and talk about Beverly Hills with me before we move on to Salt Lake City. Okay, and I'll take your Beverly Hills comments and questions. Okay. Hey, Nataski, she says, ding dong. Exactly. Hey, Riri Cook says, Garcelle and Sutton are the show. That's right. Oh, Adam says, I still find it hard to comprehend that Dorit now has had the same tenure as Rinna. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Because like I said, Dorit just was very mediocre, very tofu. She just blended right on in. And once they got rid of all of the other fat, they shed those people. Now she's up on the chopping block. And what do you guys think about this? I heard that Andy Cohen wants to bring Lisa Vanderpump back and maybe do some type of reboot, recast, refresh for Beverly Hills. I wouldn't be mad at that, to be honest. I love Sutton. I love Garcelle. But the rest, I wouldn't be mad at it. Dosky says, Adam. Adam says, hey, Natasha. Tete says, liked the pizza party. Adam says, Kyle being related to a family dynasty would never have anything intimate to do with a guy who lost hundreds of millions. Adam says, I would argue that Erika is in the top 3 most likable of the cast. I know. You are definitely into Erika. Tay says, I remember going to Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid. I enjoyed it. Yeah, this is the thing. Pizza parties, Chuck E. Cheese, they're fantastic. But I'm over the Erika redemption arc story. She's been redeemed. She has a multi-million-dollar home. She is now going to be back on Chicago. She did a Las Vegas residency. She's still on a Bravo show. Erika's fine. My issue is let's move on to something else. The girl's fine. Tay says, are you watching Sold on Salt Lake? It's not bad. Yes, I am watching Sold on Salt Lake City. It's not bad. My hot take is, I forgot her name. Is it Jennifer? Who's the owner of the brokerage? The girl, the main girl. Her and Matt, something has to have gone down with her and Matt. There is no way they did not bang or something, because she is just too on his side. Hey, Adam, what's up, sweetheart?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year and happy Monday. I know we all hate Mondays, but we're living life.
I know. Well, happy Martin Luther King Day. Woo woo.
Yeah, yes. It's
Okay.
crazy. It's the same day as the inauguration.
Shh, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
No, but I I'm just really confused with this season. I don't know what we're seeing. Like, firstly, they know as the production people that 7 is the magic number. 6 is not enough. You know, I I just feel really like disappointed because out of all the franchises, this was the show that I watched. When and then this and Atlanta were the 2 that I really clicked with. But there is just no synergy. It's you can't say a single word about this Morgan, otherwise I'm going to get my friend Alex Baskin to punish you. I don't know. It's just so outrageous to me, and to me, but I am just really disappointed with this Bosoma. To me, I I I sent you the video of the Diary of CEO episode of her and Stephen Bartlett, and I loved that energy. And it's just where on earth has this gone? As a former Netflix executive, why are you sucking up to someone who can't even pay their mortgage allegedly? But and to me, it's as much as Renner did a lot of nasty things, and you can say what you want about her. I think she earned her 8 years. I don't think she was
Give him
never
something to talk about. Yeah.
but Dorit is service value, and that's my favorite. That's the kindest thing I can say about her is I liked her when she was actually nice to Lisa Vanderpump for the first 2 seasons. She played it cool, but then ever since season 9, this show has kind of gone like to a weird turn. And to me, I know you're not a big fan of Erica, but out of this current cast, to me, she is arguably in the top 3. I get it. The whole thing is, you know, taking things for granted and like kind of like the lack of self awareness. But to me, but to me, I just find her kind of just someone intriguing. I think
Mhm.
I think she's not someone who I think is plain.
Right.
Whilst with others, I think they're plain.
You know what I will say for Erika, on Erika's behalf, is she definitely is needed to move storylines along. She's talking to Sutton, she's talking to Garcelle, she's kind of the medium between Kyle and Dorit. So I will give you that. She's definitely a key player when it comes to moving the storylines along and bringing everything together. She's definitely that because she's very neutral. She's very Switzerland. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I will definitely give you that. And I agree. Like Bose, I think is a disappointment. And I wanted to read Give Me Shelter that I had my eye on Bose ever since she said she started a hair company. Her hairstyles are literally a hate crime against the whole dysphoria.
Oh my gosh.
Agreed. Clutch my pearls. Hey Mel, what's up, sweetheart?
Hey, Candy, and you know what? Sending blessings to you today on Martin
Thank
Luther
you.
King's Day, of course.
Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Absolutely, and hello to Adam too.
Hello.
Mhm.
Hello. You know what? I'm so happy you're back because you know what? You really are. I told you in the comment section. It's been a little disappointing for me, to be honest with you. After everything, and we're not going to talk about this horrific day with this crazy person, but everything that we've gone through us as American, and especially in our community, Candy, since November, and to see people online, our brothers and sisters online, just taken up for Dorit of all people, it really has made me sick because when people kind of push and question Garcelle about what she's doing and why she's this way, I mean, I don't want to, say I'm a part of anything, but yes, I was, I had a little bit of an issue with Diana, a little bit, but I remember that time very clearly. How aggressive that lady was, and how Garcelle's children were not protected. So of all the people, Erika, she apologized for the best she could. Lisa Rinder's not on the show anymore; she's gone. Dorit's the only person there that stood her ground with the other person, and that's why Garcelle, of course, is very protective of herself, not aggressive. I hate to use the word aggressive when it comes to a black woman. So I'm a little. I've been very disturbed with how people have covered Garcelle, and I love your coverage of her. Um, and then, so that's just like that. I went.
Thank you.
Well, you know what?
And
It's
and I agree with that 100%. I think I find it quite disgusting and
mhm.
disturbing when everyone's like, "Oh, Garcelle's playing the race card, blah 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 blah. She's doing this. Like, why can't she get over what Dorit said? She's holding a grudge." No, I mean, at the end of the day, all of these women not hold grudges, but they continue to have beef and they continue to bring it up because that's what the show is about.
Mhm.
And they're like praising Dorit, who's talking about Kyle. They had a fight where they're talking about something that happened in 2019 or 2018, and like, yeah, go Dorit, but it's like, but Garcelle isn't allowed to still hold Dorit accountable for something she did to her children that she
Right.
never even actually apologized for. And to be honest with you, Dorit has such a nasty attitude towards Garcelle because Garcelle called her out for the alleged fake robberies.
Yeah.
And that's why Dorit's really mad at Garcelle because Garcelle was like, I don't think your robbery was real. You still have your jewelry. They were very polite robbers. They put your iPhone down.
And Dorit
You
is
know what I
giving
mean?
me, well, she's giving me classic Karen because at one point she was trying to tell this grown, beautiful goddess of Garcelle, speak up, talk this way. She's being disgusting the way she talked to Garcelle. Now Garcelle is telling her, listen, I have my own opinion. I'm not accusing you, honey, of committing crimes, but I do have questions about your lifestyle. I have questions about your divorce. I have questions about your robberies. I'm not making any conclusion. I just have a lot. Your life is a mystery to people. So I don't understand what Dorit would have that major issue. Now, when it comes to Dorit and Kyle, again, like I said, I just love your coverage because it's. I've been looking around and I was just like, I need our brothers and sisters not to take up a person who could have been who approved of and allegedly, in my opinion, a troll farm that was harassing this young boy. That is never going to leave my mind. Garcelle was in tears. So anyway, that's back then. But I thank God for you for doing this. When it comes to Kyle and Dorit, for me personally as a viewer, I'm this is the best we get. I would have taken Lucy Appijuicy storyline than this storyline where it's just these two women having a breakdown of a pseudo friendship, basically. Like they got together to team up as a team. Most of their team members are either been turned around, like Erika. She's kind of I'm gonna use I was gonna use the crazy word, but she's been so traumatized by the audience that she's sort of playing it very safe right now. She's not really, although in her interviews, Candy, I will say this: I have seen that that more bitter side of Erika come out. Why is it every time Erika's in an interview, she's done interviews about Chicago, she's in New York City and doing other things, she has to take a jab at Garcelle, like or Sutton too. She would say, "Oh well, I love the girls, but Garcelle, I don't." Yeah,
because
she said,
it's jealousy. I think that she's jealous of Garcelle. I think she's jealous of Sutton. The thing with Erika, I don't think that Erika has been so traumatized by the audience. She's being so cautious. I think she's traumatized that Tom Girardi got found guilty. And she's still facing lawsuits. So the reason why we're seeing this therapy Erika and this nicer Erika is because she's still in litigation and crap hasn't gone her way. If it had, we would. If Tom Girardi never went to wasn't found guilty or they dragged it on or whatever, we would still have that I don't give a damn about anybody but myself Erika. This facade of Erika we have is because Tom was found guilty. And she's still in litigation. She's still being sued. So she's on her P's and Q's because her whole thing of like, I'm this destitute and I don't care about anybody and whatever things isn't flying. And they're still on her neck. That's why she said, oh, it'll all be resolved. That's why we're seeing these fake therapy sessions and her acting like she's so destitute and so humble now because her man just got found guilty on the federal charges. And she still has lawsuits.
And it's only in her interviews, recent interviews, where that other Erika that was on the show these years comes out. She does it in a very sly way. Oh yeah, she does. She looks wonderful. She does.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Well, listen, I missed you. You know what? You've done it. At this point, I would say today's not talk about show a little bit. It's been an emotional journey. It's this holiday season, and everything, and I'm so down for anybody Black at this point, Candy. Like I'm like I was, it's just like that's like my face light up. I'm just like, it's just even more these couple of years. So that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I'm just like, I appreciate you. And, I was just surprised by some other people. And I'm just like, okay, Candy's over here. We got to protect Candy at all costs. We got to support, we got to like, we got to just support and raise everything up. But
100.
Yeah, absolutely. Candy's doing a wonderful job. I was going to say last thing, I'm going to let Adam go back and take it. But yeah, I think that Erika, I got my eye on her because in the interviews, she is, as you say, Eric, excuse me, as you say, Candy, she's being herself in those interviews. She's like, I like everybody. I know everybody. I don't know Garcelle. I don't think she's contributing. I don't think she called her fake because I don't want to say misword her, but she's definitely on Garcelle in these interviews. I don't like that. I don't think Garcelle needs to. I don't know. That's just, it's trouble. It bothers me, those interviews that she's done recently. It's not good.
Oh, thank you, Mel. Go, Adam.
I mean, to me, I've been brutally honest when it comes to Garcelle. Like, she's not my favorite, and I liked her in the first 3 seasons. Last year, she was pretty, no offense, but she was pretty dead weight and boring to me. I think this season she's been more active, and if anything, she's been more active off the season. The fact she triggered Fatboy Kemsley and he went on Instagram and was saying that she was going out of her way because she's got nothing going on. I think she's got, obviously, I don't know how many years she's been in the Hollywood game. I think she said 2 decades, but he is just some person who is an embarrassment. He was worth about, at one stage, believe it or not, about £300 million, which is the equivalent of half $1 billion. But in 2008, the chap lost everything in the financial crisis because he doesn't know what diversifying a portfolio means. But with Erika, I think, to me, like her stuff in the interviews kind of I think, is to kind of get a reaction. I think she knows what she's saying. I think deep down that you know the scene where Kyle, Sutton, and Erika, I think they're at one of the people's houses, and in the kitchen, she's talking about Sutton's alimony, and she was like, "As someone who gets something, it's better than nothing." And I kind of think, you know, she's just doing it for reaction's sake. But to me, looking at the other cast members, Jennifer, I kind of don't know her. I feel she's cool. I like her scenes with Sutton, but I don't know. You know, she's got money, but as we saw with Diana the Beg, that money can only get you so far. But as controversial as this may sound, if I had to choose between Diana the Beg and Bozoma, I would choose Diana the Beg. Unfortunately, like I just feel Bozoma has given nothing. She's got tacky interiors. She has a frown on her face. It's almost like she doesn't know what a smile is. It's almost like, you know, she's staring at the moon instead of the sun. And I just don't know. To me, to spell it out, I think other than Sutton, no one else is a 10 to me. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, with this production company, um, there is a history of the loyalty um, with the how they treat Kyle compared to everyone else. I think, you know,
Mhm.
it's clear as day. You know, it's clear as day as that how they do that because I mean, one of the things that she gets preference over everyone else is that she gets it in her contract that she's always first chair at every reunion, and
Wow.
and uh, and that her life can be hidden. And I kind of think, to me,
Final
what I
thought,
would,
and then we're moving on to Salt Lake
yeah,
City.
like to me, I kind of feel that if I were to do a switch up with this cast, I w- I would hands down have obviously 7 people, but I will get rid of Bosima and Dorit. I think 8 years is too much with that person. Bosima, I don't know what you're given. It's plain Jayne, and I I would like Elisa Vanderpump and Camille come back, and I think one of either of those friends would be how it is. I feel that I saw one of your shorts earlier. You were saying how you want to see Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle, you know, witness Lisa Vanderpump spilling it out to Kyle. I feel that that would be pure transparency. As much as some people say Kyle doesn't need another season, I feel that that would be fascination television. And I think also with Camille, I I feel that there would just be that nice kind of gravitas. So you having Lisa, Sutton, and Camille all as that kind of that ultimate trio. But it, in all honesty, this is probably the worst season slash last year. I mean, these last 2 years have not been doing it for me. I mean, I just want to go back to like my favorite seasons was season 5 to 7. Like
Mhm.
those throwback. I want that energy back because
Agree.
that's what I think Salt Lake City's given.
Yeah.
Well, Candy, before you go to Salt Lake, I was going to say one thing. Um, Camille might be interesting. I'll give Adam that because she's turned to Lisa Rinna on Twitter. I don't like
Mm.
that woman this year. Like I liked her the other seasons, but she is disgusting on Twitter. So I'm not really feeling Miss Camille currently. But
Mhm.
with Bozoma, when I was having concerns about Erica's interview, I like her interviews. Like I didn't know who she was. So
What? Wait, interviews, not after show.
no, not the after show. No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
So what
The
happened
after
was
show, she's
no.
chucking in a jiving for Dorit, and I don't rock like
No, no,
that.
no. So her affiliation with the show and what she does on the show is not my thing. So when she got on the show, I was like, okay, who is this lady? I personally, I think she's a beautiful lady. She's very quiet. I was like, okay, what's going on here? So then I read her book. Her book, I think the Urgent Life. I read the book. She lost her husband. She's very interesting in her book, and also in interviews she did with the Breakfast Club and some other things. Like in that world, in our world, Candy, in our world, in the more, Whitney Williams, all that kind of stuff world. She's cool. Like she's really good. But then on the show, it seems like all that flavor, I want to say that's what the word is, all that flavor that I've seen there was drained. It was totally nothing. Obviously nothing is going on. I'm not sure why that happened. So that's just like a confusion part to me, because and before she got on the show, I think actually the reason she got cast on the show was because she came up so interesting and progressive and just fun and cool and all that. And then she got on the show and she's connected to this woman. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, oh my, it's not the same woman I've seen in these interviews or even in her book. Again,
Yeah.
So that's what I get with her. I'm confused.
I agree. I think Bose has a great backstory, but she
Yeah.
doesn't have a storyline.
Right.
And she's also not giving her personality isn't it either on the
No.
show. So it's like you either have to just like be a presence, like a Nene just shows up, or Garcelle just show up and they're a vibe.
Yeah.
Or you can have a really dynamic storyline or something that's going on that draws people in, a divorce, a marriage, a baby, fraud, whatever it is that draws people in. But Bose just talks about her backstory, but that's not enough to carry you.
Yeah,
I think
well, a hundred.
media training. I think she's good in media training. She can go in, she can do the interview, she can, give the speech, but this isn't an interview. This is a reality show.
Yeah.
Act like you want to be here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Salt Lake City time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put myself on mute.
All right. Yeah, you guys mute, and then you guys can jump in. And then I'll also drop the link in case anybody else wants to come up for Salt Lake to chat, but no pressure. All right. All right. Now let's dive into the ladies of Salt Lake City. As we know, we just got the finale episode of the season, and so we're going to get the reunion episodes coming up. So let's dive into each of the women and talk about what's going on, my thoughts, and then I'll let you guys chime in with your thoughts too. Okay, I have notes, but I'm just going to wing it, and then maybe I'll go to my notes if I need to. Let's talk about the Heather Gay of it all, because I think that's actually the elephant in the room, even more so than Whitney Rose or Angie or Bronwyn. It's the Heather Gay of it all. Whether you guys know this or not, Dana Wilkie has come out and basically been like, Heather Gay is a huge hypocrite. She's saying, don't talk to bloggers. Bloggers are profiting off of us. Monica was so crazy. She destroyed us last season. But lo and behold, Heather has, I'll say allegedly been in Dana Wilkie's Patreon, soaking up all the gossip. But what I think is even more important than that, because I personally don't care about that. I don't care that a housewife is in a Patreon or is watching a blog or listening to a podcast. Do your research, know what you're getting into, go ahead. The juicy part of that for me is when Dana was alluding to the fact that it was Heather who actually gave her the information about Whitney's jewelry being from Alibaba. And then she's marking it up on her website, being like, buy my, necklace for $100 when she got it for $1.50 from China. Again, alleged, whatever the case may be. Now, again, I've said it before and I'll say this again. I actually don't think that's tea, because you could find that out anywhere. All you have to do is go to Whitney's website, go to Alibaba, do a little Google search. It is what it is. The tea, the juice is the source. If it's really Heather doing this to her cousin, to her best friend, and then going on the show and planting the seed as if it came from Lisa Barlow. Because remember on the show, the person who brought up the whole Alibaba situation, I believe the person who brought it to Whitney was Heather, because I think Meredith brought it to Heather, right? After I think Lisa told her or something like that. But the way Heather brought it to Whitney was, Lisa told Meredith about this thing going on. She's talking about your business. So if the truth is that it was actually Heather, that is pretty effed up. Pretty effed up. My question is this, though. Who's worse? Monica Garcia or Heather Gay? if it's true that Heather Gay had a anonymous account and was feeding different gossip and different tea about her cast members to blogs and podcasters, is that any different than what Monica Garcia did? You know, where I land on that is Monica Garcia is evil, delusional, psychotic, and is way worse than Heather Gay. Heather Gay is pretty bad, not gonna lie, for what if this is true, because you need to be transparent. But to me, Monica Garcia is evil. And I'll tell you why. My core difference is this. Monica created an account, was anonymous, and then literally infiltrated these women's lives. She was around Jen Shah in her home, around her children, were doing drive-bys, created a complete group chat to collect information and photos, audios, took her security footage, lied to production about who she was, turned state evidence against Jen Shah, then to get on the show after stalking all of these women. I don't know, for me, that just hits different than Heather Gay being in somebody's Patreon. And I do get the whole being the person to have told Dana allegedly about Whitney, but I guess because it's Whitney stuff, I'm not that mad at it. Okay. And if you notice, Whitney never really denied the allegations. She just kind of screamed and yelled around them. So there's that. So I want to know what you guys think about that. Okay, now let's talk about Whitney versus Lisa Barlow, and let's throw in Angie and Bronwyn in the mix too. You guys already know I am a Lisa Barlow stan. Team Lisa all day, every day. Like, it just is what it is. My only note for Lisa, and this was my note for her at the beginning of this season, and it has remained my same note. Just take a beat and do not let these chicks play you out of your position. Do not let them do that. Oh, that's what I wanted to say for Beverly Hills. And I forgot to say this. I'm going to go back to Beverly Hills real quick. Put a pin in Salt Lake City. But the reason why I wanted to say this, okay, Kyle Richards, Dorit, and the PK text messages. Now we all know Kyle has been put on blast for reading the text message that she sent to PK. I'm your friend too. I know you're going through a separation. I will never say anything. Send the memes and blah, 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 blah. And she reads it to the group. And now everybody's aghast. Oh, they have been talking about something private. Kyle lied. This is different. Blah, 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 blah. Kyle, this is a PSA to you. And this is a PSA to everybody. Never let someone play you out of your position. And this is what I mean by that. Kyle let Bozoma get in her ear and put that little, doubt in her mind. Well, what Dorit wants, because remember when Kyle goes to see Bozoma when she's all laid up because she got her fibroids out. And Bozoma's like, well, Dorit, I can't say it the way she says it. She's like, but Dorit what really wants you to read the text messages. She wants to read them. And Kyle was standing 10 toes down on business. And I was like, hell yeah. She was like, no. She's like, I'm not reading any text messages. She can go F herself. Absolutely not. I wish Kyle would have stood on business, 10 toes down. Don't show anybody nothing. Why are you letting Bozoma play you out of your position? Because then in the next scene, Kyle's like, well, I'm only going to do this once, and I'm only going to do it now, and I'm never going to do it again, but I'm going to read the text messages. So you wrote this text message. I'm sure PK and you put it together to have it on your phone to read out, and thinking that's going to clear you of everything. But of course, everybody is going to scrutinize every single word that you said. I didn't take Kyle saying, I would never tell anybody what you said to me to be salacious or anything like that. I just took it as her saying, you can trust me. Like, we've talked about stuff. We're friends. I'm not going to run to a tabloid or the blogs or say something on the show on camera, what you guys are going through. To me, I think Kyle was trying to say, you guys are going through a tough time. You've confided in me. I'm not going to say anything. I'm your friend too. Memes or whatever the case is. Now Kyle is out here looking crazy because people are going to twist that, calling her a liar, what's going on with her and PK. So PSA, never let anybody play you out your position. If you don't want to read a text message, don't read it, okay? Especially not somebody like Bozoma. So there's that. All right, now let's go back to Salt Lake City. Who was I saying was played out of position on? Oh, Lisa. That's right. Lisa. My note to Lisa, and it's been